Well, good morning, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living here in Visalia, California. I'm Reverend Nan, and I'm happy to welcome you here today for our meditation time. We'll be meditating from 10 to 10:15. And your thought for today that you can take into your meditation. We have a little technical difficulty today because we don't have our usual slides, so the thought for today is I now let the universal abundance flow freely in my life. And I'll be back at 10:15, and we'll see you then. Just enjoy the meditation time. Well, I just invite you to return from your meditation after having listened to Kevin play beautiful music. It's 10:15 here in our sanctuary, wherever you may be. I don't know what your time is, but this is a time when everybody comes here. And if you're at home, I invite you to get a beverage, a snack, and just sit back, and we'll be back at 10:30. Now, we're not going to have any interesting slides this morning from 10:15 to 10:30, but we're going to play a little music for you. And so you'll know that we're back when you hear the band start playing. And they've got some really good music today. We have a great message, and I'll see you again at 10:30.
Can't buy me love, 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 love. Can't buy me love, love. I'll buy you a diamond ring, my friend, if it makes you feel alright. I'll let you get anything, my friend, if it makes you feel alright. 'Cause I don't care too much for money, but money can't buy me love. I'll give you all I've got to give if you say you love me too. I may not have a lot to live, but what I'll give to you. Oh, I don't care too much for money. Money can't buy me love, can't buy me love, love. Everybody tells me so. Can't buy me love, love. No, 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 no. Say you don't need no diamond rings, and I'll be satisfied. Tell me that you want the kinds of things that money just can't buy. I don't care too much for money. Money can't buy me love. Can't buy me love, love. Everybody tells me so. Can't buy me love, love. No, 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 no. Say you don't need no diamond rings, and I'll be satisfied. Tell me that you want these kind of things that money just can't buy. I don't care too much for money. Money can't buy me love. Can't buy me love, 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 love. Can't buy me love, oh.
Special effects on that were excellent. Thank you for the crowd effect there with all the young things screaming. All the old things, too. I mean, I think everybody screamed when it was the Beatles. That was, of course, before my time, so I don't know. I've only seen it on videos. Well, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living here in Visalia, California. I'm Reverend Nan Bankston. I'm the minister here. And today we have a little bit of interesting experience for everybody because Donna, who does our slideshow things and makes all of our slides, went on vacation, and we had a little disconnect about who was going to bring them to here and how we were going to get them. So the big thing is that we have no slides today, but we're winging it, so be ready. And I don't see anybody here for the first time, except Joe's friend who drove him here so he could play the drums. And so we've got Joe on the drums, and Josh Davis on the bass, and Kevin Esquivel on the piano. And, of course, we had Hope and Deanna doing their thing up there with all the screaming and carrying on that went on. So it'll be a little bit different because I think I'm probably going to forget some of the announcements, but it'll all work out. The first one is that there's the Marjorie Brandon Award is on November 5th, and the sign up to make desserts for it, because there's going to be a dessert auction, is on the back table. And also, you can go on to Eventbrite, or you can buy them. The tickets are available on Eventbrite or here at the center. They're $25, and it's going to be quite a lovely evening. Deanna and Bruce Huddleston are going to be performing music after the award, and it's just going to be really nice. So I encourage you to be here. Buddy Jones is a very, very special person in this community, and I think the evening is well worth what you would pay for, and the desserts are going to be spectacular, so you don't want to miss that. Also, there'll be information on our Facebook page a little bit later today about that. Now, in November, they're also doing wreath making on the 6th and the 13th. And the sign-up sheets for the wreaths are on the back table, and there's things, if whatever the supplies are that you need are back there. So you can pick up a sheet that has that on it, and you can put that on your calendar because people will be making wreaths. They'll be sold. And then if yours doesn't sell, if you make it real ugly, you'll get to keep it. But that's the only way. So it should be fun. The Explorers meet today here, and they meet at 12:30, right, Evelyn? Good. So they'll meet at 12:30, and it'll be on hybrid. You'll be able to come in on Zoom, which is on our website, or here in the center. So they'll be meeting at 12:30. And for right now, I don't have any other announcements at this moment because I don't have my slides. We had a bunch of stuff, but none of it is time sensitive. So that concludes that part of it. I do have the inclusivity quote today because through the wonder of technology, the person who's on our team, Bonnie Carlia, who selected the quote for today, happened to be here for service this morning, was able to get it out of her phone so I can tell you what it is. And of course, our inclusivity team meets weekly on Mondays by Zoom, and you can get to that information also on our website if you'd like to join in on the meeting. Every week, they select a quote for our service, and it's quite pertinent. So, you know, this month we're doing a Living Everyday Wonder looking at finances. So this is a quote by Mark Twain. And Mark Twain wrote, "If you want love and abundance in your life, give it away." And I'll tell you that it's true. So that's a very outstanding quote. And love and abundance isn't just money. It's, although we did say you can't buy me love, it's about lots of things. But we're going to be talking about that in a little bit. Now I have the weekly affirmation. And you can't see that either, but I'm going to say it. And then if you can remember what I said, we're going to do that together. So the quote's real simple. You can say it out there at home too, wherever you happen to be. It's just, I now let the universal abundance flow freely in my life. So let's try it together. I now let the universal abundance flow freely in my life. Indeed it does. And so now is the time when I would open this service with a prayer. And so that's what we're going to do next. We'll do an affirmative prayer to just bless this time together and bring forth that which is wanting to be known by anyone and everyone here today. So I know that as I speak this word, I just recognize that there is only one power, one presence, one infinite loving spirit. Whatever we may call it, there's only that one creative energy. It's in me, it's in all creation, it's in everyone here and everyone who is in virtual world out there with us. It's in all creation. And I know that we are inseparably connected through the warp and weft of the tapestry of the universe. And knowing that this is so, I realize that right now, there is only one life. And that life is Spirit's life, and that life is mine and everyone else's, and it's flowing through us, bringing all good, everything that could possibly be needed to lift up everyone, wherever they may be, into a prosperous, joyous life. And as we talk about this today, the words that need to be heard by anyone, anywhere, are clear and received. All is well with every soul, whether we know it or not. And I bless each person here and afar, knowing that this is good and very good. And together we may say with great gratitude, and so it is. Now we got more music. You see, this is fun because when there's no slides, we just are hammering it, you know. I have the words up, but they'll get you. You know.
This is God is my source. We'll go through it once, and then you guys join along. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Joy gives me source.
Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. Peace. Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need.
One more time.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
One more time.
God gives me everything I need.
Nice. Ooh, that was so good. I love that song. You know, we actually create through the power of the divine within us, but we'll get to that in just a minute. Well, good morning again, and welcome to the second in our series of the messages of living everyday wonder with finances. You know, we started this series last week with a review of our affirmative prayer process, and every week we're taking a look at another step in it. Last week we looked at the first step, which is where we recognize that God is spirit, everything, whatever we want to call it, God, spirit, the universe, universal consciousness, it really doesn't matter. We recognize that the universe is the source of all creation. And as such, its nature is one of abundance. It's never less, it's always continuously expanding. And during our second step of affirmative prayer, we unify ourselves with the infinite, knowing that we are never separated from it. And you may have heard me say that in my prayer. Moreover, it exists within us as a divine essence or spark to which we may return any time we wander astray in our thoughts or our beliefs or our actions. You know, Ernest Holmes writes in Creative Living, in transforming energy into power, we are uniting an invisible essence with an invisible law, which is the way the universe operates. If we identify ourselves with the source, then our word establishes eternal harmony, transforms everything, and rearranges everything to our benefit. It is an act of complete surrender of the human to the divine without the loss of the human, a complete inflowing of the divine into the human. The universe is infinite abundance in every form of wealth, whether we're talking about love or health or financial freedom or creativity or anything else. The infinite flowing reservoir is always available. Yet it may be we only let a little trickle or a little dribble into our lives. Our consciousness may be filled with rules, and our consciousness, let's think of it as thoughts, old beliefs of lack, limitation, and self-devaluation based on our inadequate beliefs in our own self-worth. Sometimes we just don't think we're worth anymore. These rules and beliefs just happen to choke the flow of the infinite good down to a little trickle in our lives. And our work, this is so simple, our work is just to get our foot off the hose. Just step up and get that foot off the hose of all the good. And then let the natural abundance of the universe flow into our lives. Our consciousness is the law of life, of our life individually. So what fills our consciousness? I'm just going to ask you some questions to think about here. Do we have beliefs and rules about what God wants? Do we believe money is as sacred and spiritual as everything else, or that it's maybe not? Where did we ever hear that? The root of all evil, yeah. Do we believe we have value and worth and are entitled to live well? And here's a tricky one. Do we believe we shouldn't live well because others aren't? Do we hold back the energy of life in order to fit in or keep our heads down and be invisible, as we may have learned when we were little kidlets? Do we believe that some God will punish us and take our good away if we get too big for our britches? When was the last time you heard britches, eh? I had to put that in there. I couldn't resist. So do we believe there's an ebb and a flow to the infinite, ever-present supply? Do we believe we can't prosper? In other words, the ebb and flow, does it mean like sometimes we have some and sometimes we don't? I used to have a friend who always said, the pendulum swings up and down, and when you're down in the bottom, you can't get up to here no matter what you do. What kind of a old belief is that, huh? So do we believe we can't prosper in bad times? Do we get rid of money as soon as it comes in? Or do we cling and hoard it out of fear it will go away? Where did we get the idea that it's spiritual to be poor? Some folks say, how can I feel good about having money when others have so little? Really? What good can anyone do by being broke? So, who can you assist by being poor and being just another mouth to feed? Isn't it a greater blessing to open to the masterful manifestors of wealth that we can be to help others and to give a gift that makes a difference? Nobody says that we have to live without. We were designed to live with all that is. When we engage in those limited beliefs, some of which I just mentioned, what are we telling the universe about how to show up for us? The universe is always saying yes. The restriction is never in the universal flow. It's always right within us. So as we recognize that our consciousness is the creative element in our lives, totally connected with an infinite source of good, we realize that our experience of prosperity comes from within us. I'm going to give you a little different perspective here. Many people talk about the law of attraction, right? But attraction means that we believe that our good is out there somewhere, and we need to attract it to here. This is as commonly erroneous thinking as thinking the sun goes around the earth. While it may seem that way from an earth-centric perspective, it isn't really true, is it? The real law is the law of radiation. What we radiate or express out then becomes our experience in life. If we have dysfunctional beliefs about wealth, well, that's what radiates out, and that's what's reflected back to us. If we're not living in true prosperity, which Raymond Charles Barker described many years ago, he described it as the ability to do what you want to do at the instant you want to do it. Do what you want to do at the instant you want to do it. That's wealth, prosperity. Well, if we're not living like that, then we need to consciously connect with our infinite selves. This enacts the divine nature itself, which encounters no restrictions as it creates what it chooses to create when it chooses to create it. You don't think that the infinite source, spirit, whatever we want to call it, is out there saying, nope, can't make that today because there isn't enough of me to make it with. Nope, that'll have to wait. No, I don't feel like it, so maybe I won't, I can't. I don't think so. The universe always says yes. So we're here to enact that divine nature in human form. Did you ever think about that? Ernest Holmes wrote, life flows into everything, through everything. It passes into every human event and translates itself through every human act. If you think of life as flowing through your every action, you will soon discover that the things you give your attention to are quickened with new energy, for you are breathing the very essence of being into them. Our heart's desires are our greatest assets, and true heart's desires guide us to what wants to be expressed through us. Too often, though, we shut them down. We turn them off and we stop listening, usually for one of two reasons. One, we have no idea how to bring them about. And two, we may believe that the desire could be bad or wrong. The universe will not desire through us without also providing the means to accomplish that desire. We may not always see the how, but that's not our business. Our business is to be clear on the what and stand in that vision in faith, trust, and desire as the universe provides the means. Charles Fillmore again refers to this energizing polarity as wisdom and love. We have the wisdom of the vision and the wisdom of clear thinking, unfettered by old dysfunctional beliefs. And we have the power of love, desire, for the idea that wants to express through us. As we let both of those expand, our experience of a life of joyful creation expands. Leo Buscaglia, who I used to read just a few years ago, wrote in Loving Each Other this wonderful thing. He said, we have so little faith in the ebb and flow of life, of love, of relationships. We leap at the flow of the tide and resist in terror its ebb. We're afraid it will never return. We insist on permanency, on duration, on continuity, when the only continuity possible in life is love. I want that to sink in for a minute. The only continuity possible in life is love. If we're living in that fear of loss or judgment or disappointment, it's pretty likely that we aren't living in love. Love and fear are opposites of the same coin, opposite sides of the same coin. When we're in fear, we're operating outside of love. And when we're operating in love, we're beyond any false sense of separation in which fear thrives. Fear likes to paralyze us and keep us in that idea that we're separate from love. When we're in the dynamic flow of love, we are one with and in the ocean of abundant living. There's a little story about Zen. In Zen, there's a story about the folks who come, the monks that want to become enlightened. And they're told that in order to be enlightened, they have to eliminate all desire from their life. So they go off and they spend 5 or 10 years working to release all desires. And then they come back to the monastery and they return to their teacher and they announce that they have succeeded. And the teacher will nod and smile and ask, "Why did you do that?" Well, they will come to the realization that they have a desire to be enlightened. So, sadly, they go off and only to realize that they're still working in the field of desire. Eventually, they awaken to the realization that desire is the motivating energy of the universe moving all forward. Then, they release their desire to release their desires. Deepak Chopra notes, the universe operates through dynamic exchange. Giving and receiving are different aspects of the flow of energy in the universe. And in our willingness to give that which we seek, we keep the abundance of the universe circulating in our lives. And if we were to consider Gary Zukav's words, we would realize that we are one with the light and the consciousness of all creation. He writes, the light that flows through you, is universal energy. It's the light of the universe. And you give it form. You give it form. And what you feel, what you think, how you behave, and how you live your life reflect the way you are shaping the light that is flowing through you. As we understand that our consciousness is cause in our life, we can recognize that the only work we need to do is clear our consciousness of the congestion and the restriction of the flow of the divine. The abundant brilliance of the infinite one is always shining. It's always expressing, and it's always on in all of us. We just need to get out of our own way and its way and let it shine through us and be us, because it is us. When we become humble, when we let go of my way and choose the highway, the true nature of the infinitely abundant universe can and does show up in our lives in ways that surprise and delight us. Abundance is natural to spirit. Therefore, it's natural to us, right? And there's no better way to experience that love that is the very essence of our being, that abundance, that spirit within us, than to serve others. Dennis Merritt Jones says, excuse me, in our book of the month, which is out on the shelf today, The Art of Abundance, there is no better way of initiating the flow of abundance in your life than through the act of serving others. To serve is to extend your essence, your energy to others in a manner that enriches and makes their lives better. Your intention, motivation, in serving others sets the precedent for how that energy shall return to you, as we now know that it must. So as we just sang, take into your idea, into your heart, the idea that God's the source of everything, spirit, whatever you want to call it. It's our power, and it does bring us everything we need through the desires we have to create. That creative energy is part of what we are. It's in our spiritual DNA. So receive it, enjoy it, live it. When we realize the good in our life, let us recognize it with gratitude. There is no greater practice than gratitude to open the floodgates of love in ourselves and the world. I promise you that. Welcome the infinite abundance with love, joy, and gratitude into your life, and experience the freedom that you were created to experience. And remember that no matter what the circumstances, love always prevails. So it is. And so now we're just going to have some gratitude for all the love in our lives. And so I'll say just a brief prayer here before we have our special music. I do recognize that there is abundance, that the living spirit is this enormous presence, flows in through and as each of us, and that love from which we are created through the self-givingness of itself so that it may experience life through each of us has no limits. Has no limits. And as I speak this word, I lift everyone up into the light wherever they may be, so that they may open to their own good, to their abundant nature, to feel the life of the Spirit within them that creates, that knows only joy and beauty and peace and harmony. And knowing that these qualities of Spirit exist in all creation through all peoples, I know that this is true for everyone, wherever they may be around the globe. And so I speak this word of greater love, an abundance of love and joy and peace and harmony and compassion that encircles the globe and goes out into the universe beyond the I don't know where, knowing that it supports and brings all good to everyone, everywhere. Because love always, always prevails, and so it is. And now you get to sing about how grateful you are. Think about it.
All that I am, all that I see, all I've been and all that I'll ever be is a blessing so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all. All that I am, na 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 na.
I'm grateful for it all.
Na 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 na. So I lift my hands up now, and I open up my heart, and my gratitude goes out to everything near and far. All that I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all. All that I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all. And I'm grateful for it all. And I'm grateful for it all.
Oh, my goodness. You know, we are so blessed to have these musicians every Sunday. And thank you, Josh, for filling in today for Phil. We appreciate you. We are truly blessed with the music we have here. You may not know that unless you go to someplace else and you find that they don't have this wonderful blessing. So I'm so grateful for that. Now's the time when we talk about our conscious giving process, and for us, we give from our hearts. We give to support the center and to continue the work that is done here. And so there is an affirmation. I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm going to say it, and you can say it after me. I'm going to go a couple of words at a time. You can take your gift and put it in your hand and hold it to your heart, time, treasure, or talent. And then it says, I'm going to say, I welcome the infinite flow of universal abundance with heart wide open. I give with ease and grace. And you know, these gifts of consciousness, these gifts of love, keep this center going. And it's really, I just have to be grateful for so many blessings here. So at this point, that's all I've got to say. I do know that these gifts come from the love of pure spirit as it moves through each and every person here and everyone at home. And you know, we don't have our sign up so that you can send your check to the address, but you can go on our website. You can give on our website because all of your gifts support us being able to reach you wherever you are and here in this center. And we've got such good stuff going on here. So these gifts that are the pure love of spirit that flow through each and every one of you support everything. And I know that these gifts of love do good work in this center. They do good work in our community. And they do good work in the world. And I bless them and I give thanks. And so it is. And now we do the peace song. We're not going to have any words up on the screen. So you guys at home, you better notice it. But the guys are going to put the camera. Can you move the camera to the peace song? Oh, the light's on. Yeah, they've got it, but the light's on. This is fun, you know. This is like being in a camping situation where you have to play with everything and make it work no matter what. So when we do our peace song thing, we come down and we get together and we make a circle, and you can hold hands if you're in the mood, and if you don't, that's okay. Whatever works for you is fine, just fine. Can you turn off that one light that's by the song? Because then they'd be able to see the words. Usually I just have to flip all of them on and off until I find it, so. It's a very interesting thing, our lighting. There we go. Well, it's still hanging in front of it, but at least for those of you at home or here, you don't have to look at the glaring light in your eyes. So, so we know this, and at home, just sing it with us. So.
Now there is peace on earth. I know it begins with me. Now there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be.
With God as creator, united all are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me, and this is the moment now. With every breath I take, this is my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Now there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me. All right. And now this is the moment we all wait for every week. Are you ready? All right. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. Oh, it is this thing called life. Now, life is in my mind. And life is in my body. Oh, and it's in the body of all my affairs. I think it. And I feel it. Ooh, and I love it. Just the way that it is. And just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Have a wonderful week, everybody. We'll see you next week. We may have slides by then. And don't forget, the tickets for the Marjorie Brandon event are on sale here. And Explorers is at 12:30. Go for it.
Can't buy me love, love, can't buy me love. I'll buy you diamond rings, my friend, if it makes you feel alright. I'll get you anything, my friend, if it makes you feel alright. I don't care too much for money, money can't buy me love. I give you all I got to give if you say you love me too. I may not have a lot to live, but what I got I'll give to you. I don't care too much for money, money can't buy me love, can't buy me love. Everybody tells me so, can't buy me love. No, 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 say you don't need no diamond rings, and I'll be satisfied. Tell me that you want the kind of things that money just can't buy. I don't care too much for money, money can't buy me love, can't buy me love. Money don't tell me so, can't buy me love. Oh, no, 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 say you don't need no diamond rings, and I'll be satisfied.
Be satisfied.
If you want the kind of things that money just can't buy. I don't care too much for money, money can't buy me love, can't buy me love. Love can't buy me love. Oh.
Sorry, I jumped.
1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know.